So in this video, we are basically deal with thermodynamics of Bose-Einstein gases. So in the earlier classes or in the earlier videos, we have discussed about various cases in which we can apply the quantum statistics to the specific situations like the Bose-Einstein, Fermi-Dirac, and the Maxwell-Boltzmann. And we have written the general expressions um, for the PV by KT or the or the NE, right? So here we will be using those kinds of expressions. So we know from our previous videos, PV by KT is equal to ln theta. And when it comes to a Bose gas, ln theta can be written as minus sum over E ln 1 minus Z e raised to minus beta E. Let me put this as expression 1. And also we know the total number of particles, which is the which can be expressed in terms of the sum over mean occupation numbers, NE, which is equal to sum over E. The expression for occupation number NE, we know it is 1 by Z raised to minus 1 e raised to beta E minus 1 for a Bose gas. Okay. We can always substitute the summations in the expression 1 and 2 by integration with the appropriate conversion factors. We have already discussed about that in one of the previous video, the conversion factor that was written as AED is equal to 2 pi V by H cube 2m raised to 3 by 2 e raised to half dE. So those who don't remember how we got this factor, they can go back to that video and see if, or remind themselves that point. But so these are the three expressions which we need to use when we are discussing about the thermodynamics of Bose gas. Here we have a slight problem, because in the case of Bose gas, for that matter, even for the Fermi-Dirac case, here what will be the value of AED when E is equal to 0? So as far as the equation 3 is concerned, when E is equal to 0, this AED will be tending to 0, which is not possible, because E is equal to 0 is a possible situation or an admissible situation. So therefore, when we convert ourselves to the integral, we need to account for E is equal to 0 state also. So what we will do is that we will add an additional term along with this integral so that we can account for the E is equal to 0 state. So that's what we will be doing. Okay, so what we are going to do? So we will substitute this equation 3 into equation 1, and we will convert ourselves to the integral, and we will also add additional term or a second term to account for E is equal to 0. So if we do that, I can write P by KT is equal to minus 2 pi by h cube 2m raised to 3 by 2 integral 0 to infinity e raised to half ln 1 minus z e raised to minus beta e dE. So this was, as I told you, actually from equation 1 to this one, this should have been enough, but we need to take account for this e is equal to 0 state. So therefore, we will add a second term 1 by v ln 1 minus z. Right? So if you substitute e is equal to 0 over here, you will get this expression, right? So this is PV by KT, P by KT is equal to minus. So we consider only one state, which is E is equal to 0. Then E is equal to 0 means this will be E raised to 0, which is 1. So ln 1 minus Z. So this is, we just added that term over here. And then we substitute all the other summations by this integral. So that's just what we did. Let me put that as equation 4. Okay. Now, similarly, for the expression of n by v can be written as 2 pi by h cube 2m raised to 3 by 2 integral 0 to infinity e raised to half e raised to half dE by z raised to minus 1 e raised to beta e minus 1 plus 1 by v z by 1 minus z. There also we substitute the equation 3 in the equation 2. So there we got this first term. And then to account for E is equal to 0, we use this second term, symbol. Okay, so so these are the two expressions when we convert ourselves to the integral format. Now we need to take the cases where what will happen when z tends to its maximum value, which is 1. Meanwhile, I need to tell you why what should I write? Why maximum value of z is 1. Some of you might have already spotted that, but let me just try to explain that over here so that that will be helpful for those who couldn't really spot it. So why the maximum value of z is 1? Or rather a bigger question, what is the boundary value? What are the minimum and the maximum values of z? Right? So what is the minimum value? So minimum value is quite easy to tell you because z is equal to e raised to mu by kt, right? For any exponential term, the minimum value can only be 0 because that's the general property of exponential function. So for any exponential function, the minimum value is 0. Therefore, the minimum value of z is 0. Now the maximum value. So how will you find out that? there can be various situations, right? So in the case of a Bose-Einstein situation, we will do it specifically for that. Okay, there can be situations where mu greater than e. We can think such situations, right? Mu can be greater than e. But if you look into that expression, right, our expression 2, expression 2 is written as n of Bose-Einstein is equal to sum over e 1 by e raised to beta e minus mu minus 1. So this is the expression for equation 2 which I have written here. So if mu is greater than e, what happens? This factor, this exponential, this power factor will become a negative number. Negative number means this will become a very small number, like 0.001, 0.01, 0.001, like that, right? If it's a negative number, exponential of a negative number, if you put it in your calculator, you will get some fractional numbers, which is always less than 1, which means that some number minus 1, which means that this whole thing will tend to be a negative number, right? Is that admissible? No, because by n we mean the number of particles. The number of particles cannot be a negative number, it can only be a positive number. So therefore mu greater than e is a non-existent possibility. Now if you see the second possibility, which is mu equal to e. So mu equal to e means what? Mu equal to e means this will be 0. That means exponential something raised to 0, which is 1. 1 minus 1, 0. 1 by 0 is infinity, which means that the number of particles in the Bose-Einstein is infinite, which is again not possible, right? So therefore these two things, the point number 1 and point 2 means that mu has to be lesser than e always in a Bose-Einstein situation. Mu always has to be lesser than e in Bose-Einstein. So this is another question which you can think of. Why in the case of Bose-Einstein situations mu always has to be lesser than e? So this is the easiest answer for that. You can always think of other possibilities, but I'm telling only about this possibility right now. So mu less than e. So what is the lowest value of e? Right? The lowest value of e is 0, 0th energy level, right? Which means that my mu has to be always lesser than e, which means that my mu always has to be lesser than 0, right? Mu always has to be lesser than 0, which means my z has to be always less than 1. Less than 1 means what? It can be 0.00, 0.01, right? Right. So z has always to be lesser, because z is equal to e raised to mu by kt. Mu is lesser than 0, which means a negative number. Exponential of a negative number means it has to be something lesser than 1, which is considered to be something like 0.001, 0.01 and all those things. So which means that is always lesser than 1. So z is always lesser than 1. So in total, setting the minimum and the maximum value, I can write z value lies between 0 and 1. Okay, so this is something which you have to always remember in the case of Bose-Einstein. Okay. Um, now we have to go back to the equation 4 and the 5 which we have written here. So now we are so this red lettered things comes in between, which I wanted to tell you for the rest of the part of the derivation. That's why I put that. Okay, so as z increase, what happens? As z increases, it can take values closer to unity, right? Because the highest value of z is 1. So here in this equation 5, if you look into, for example, if you look into this one, if z is getting closer to 1, which means that I am projecting a situation. It is never 1, it is only approaching 1. It can never reach 1, right? So this second term over here will become huge because 1 minus z, the denominator will be a huge number, a very small number, 1 minus z. So therefore, this second term will be very huge number. So this second term is what? The second term is actually the particles which are in the 0th energy level. The second term over in the equation 5, I can take it as n by v is equal to, so let me write it as something, ne by v plus n0 by v. Why? Because n0 means the particles which are in the 0th level. I was very specific when we were very specific why we introduced the second term. The second term was only to account for those particles which were in the ground state, which is E is equal to 0 level. Which means that in the case where Z gets closer to unity or 1, the second terms becomes really huge. So therefore, as Z increases, it can take values closer to unity, and that leads to very high values for n0, right? That leads to very high values for n0, or n0 by v over here becomes very significant. Earlier when we introduced this one, it was just one of those terms. There were many levels from 0 to infinity. So we separated out only the E is equal to 0 level and we put one single term. There were all other terms in this first term. But here when Z is getting closer to 1, we have a special situation arising where the n0 term becomes highly significant. Actually, this situation corresponds to, you know that, I have already told that in one of the previous videos about that, which we call as the Bose-Einstein condensation. Right? So, what is Bose-Einstein condensation? So, there is some regime in which all the particles get settled or confined themselves to a particular energy level, which is the 0th energy level or the ground state level. So, that is what the Bose-Einstein condensation, and this equation very clearly talks about that. So, what is that peculiar situation? This equation itself, this equation 5 itself projects that situation. So, I told you that when Z tends to 1, this Bose-Einstein condensation is being we can envision this Bose-Einstein condensation without doing any experiment when Z tends to 1. So what is Z? Z is equal to e raised to mu by kt. Right. Z is equal to e raised to mu by kt. So therefore, this always indicates some kind of a situation where the t is getting smaller. When the t gets smaller, we have this kind of situation, right? What was the situation? Okay, we will think about that situation in our class. Even we can talk about this over here. When Z gets, so the maximum value of Z is 1, right? That is why. When in this equation 5, when it reaches the maximum value of Z, which is 1, but which is closer to 1, which means that this factor will become really huge. The N0 will get really close, really big. So Z in its maximum value has to arise when at the lowest temperature, right? Z, because whatever be the highest value of Z, it has to come when this this expression, the mu by kt is bigger. As the mu by kt gets bigger, Z has to get bigger. But always note that highest value of Z is 1. So when does the mu by kt get smaller, gets bigger value? That will get bigger in two contexts. When either the mu has to be bigger or the t has to be smaller. The denominator is smaller, which means that your factor. So therefore, we can foresee that the Bose-Einstein condensation is envisioned to happen at very low temperatures because based on this expression. Okay, so we will continue with the more discussions on the thermodynamics in the next video.